Hello, this is Sochi from the Brazos Valley Food Bank. Today we're going to be making a taco soup. This is a super easy, healthy meal with really simple ingredients. I'm going to start off by preheating a large pan over medium-high heat. I'm using a spoon to break apart the ground beef into smaller pieces. As you can see, it only takes a couple minutes before it starts to cook. It cooks really, really quickly. We do always recommend that you choose the leanest option, but we know that it can be a little bit more expensive, so it's perfectly fine if you choose a more affordable one, because there are ways to try to reduce the fat. As you can see here, I'm transferring it to a large plate lined with paper towels, and the paper towels are really going to help soak up that excess fat. There was a little bit of fat left over on the pan, but that's going to work really well for when we add our diced onions and our jalapeno. Whenever I'm dicing onion, I like to make horizontal cuts across the onion. Then I do one in the middle before I start chopping the onion, and then I just repeat that same technique until I'm done. I hope that this helps the whole process go a lot faster, which is a really great thing, especially if you're a big crier like me. Of course, we want to be super careful that we avoid our fingers, cutting away from them, and of course making sure that we're using a sharp knife, because using a dull knife is actually going to increase our risk for injury. Here I'm about done, and then I always like to start off using vertical cuts with the jalapeno. If you find that you're really sensitive to spice, you can also try removing the veins. I found that they actually gave the soup a really nice flavor, so I didn't find it necessary to do so. Then I make horizontal cuts, and then I chop them to try to get that diced finish. The recipe also called for garlic cloves, but we went ahead and substituted for garlic powder. So if that's something that you have lying around in your house, it's a great option, and it saves you a little bit of time. Then I'm going to go ahead and add it to my pan. As you can see, there's that leftover fat from the meat, and it just added like a really nice flavor, and it also kept me from adding more like vegetable oil or olive oil if that's what you use. And it only takes a couple minutes for the onion and the jalapeno to start to soften. And that's when I went ahead and added my garlic powder, and then I kind of give it a really good stir before I start to add my canned items. Here I'm adding my canned beans. Next I'm going to add my diced tomatoes and my corn. Using canned food items is a great way to make any recipe a lot more affordable. The only thing I will say is that we do try to use low sodium or even no sodium added. But it's a great way to even pack more vegetables and a lot more fiber with the beans. If you didn't know, beans are not only a great source of fiber, but they count as a veggie and a protein source. So you're getting a lot of protein from not only the ground beef, but from the beans. And fiber, of course, we always want to try to add that into our meals, just because they really help with digestion. And they also help us maintain a really good body weight. Another great thing that I really love about this recipe is that you can modify it in so many ways. If you don't like beans, if you don't like corn, you can easily switch it for another vegetable, such as like maybe even peas or green beans, if that's something you like. Or even for your picky eaters, you can try letting them choose what kind of vegetables they want in their soup, and that just really helps try to get them to consume more of those things you really want them to. Next, we're adding our seasonings. I used ranch seasoning, which was a new thing for me, but I found that it was really tasty. I also added reduced taco seasoning, and I added some pepper, trying to reduce my sodium. You always want to try to add more flavor to recipes using other seasonings, and it's a great way for us to discover new flavors. Next, it only takes a couple minutes for it to cook once it's already simmered, and there's so many different toppings that you can add to this recipe. We added low sodium cheese and some avocado, but you can also try tortilla chips or even low fat sour cream, whatever you have at hand in your refrigerator. It's just really, really tasty. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you give this a try.